Welcome aboard, race fans here, and welcome along to the Hardee's National Series Saturday night racing here at Darlington, nicknamed the Lady in Black. The pace car and a couple of other paint schemes abound are basically throwbacks to drivers across the motorsports industry, and a lot particularly concerning the FBRL, with that pace car delivering homage to Evan Gattuso's 28 ride back in the day. But as it rounds off turn number 4, the Curtis Racing cars of Jeffrey White and Jack Porkins will lead us down. 42 drivers and a couple of Sony Cup drivers trying to interfere into the fray here tonight. Who's gonna top out first? Let's find out. Green flag going to wave. We're racing here under the lights at Darlington. As the field roars down the backstretch for the first time tonight, 74 laps will be abound here as Jeffrey White leads the field down into turn number 3. Jesse Turner, though, already putting the pressure on the Advanced Auto Parts machine as they come off of turn number 4. White will lead the first lap. Turner, though, in hot pursuit, while Eric DeMax is going to try and look for the third position on Noah Hart's number 12 and an easy pass. A couple of Toyotas already floundering their way upwards here. Edward Ziemba and Anthony Marchese, so the trio of Rodriguez Racing cars trying to peek themselves into the top 5, while Jesse Turner's trying to find a way down the bottom, and White's gonna slide up the hill, and here comes Jesse Turner already to the inside as he's gonna try and look for that second lap here. And here they go into 1. Turner with the advantage into the first corner and out of the race, or really into the race lead, excuse me. On lap number 3 goes the number 99. Eric DeMax, though, is gonna file in second. Ziemba up to third, and the Toyota's already putting an effort here. And DeMax now making a move to the inside as Turner's lead might be short-lived, as here comes Eric DeMax wanting to lead the third lap of the event here. The cars are going to be constantly shuffling to and fro here in this race, and really once it dies down, we're going to see a lot more drivers become single file and spread out. Track position is key at Darlington, and if you're in the back, it's not really the most opportune times to be in the back. It's hard to charge your way up to the front, and it's best to stay up front here, as Eric DeMax and teammate Edward Ziemba are trying to find that out early on as they're 1 and 2 off turn number 4. As you see White and Turner dropping back, a couple of cars moving forwards. John Art's number 1. Remember, this very same car won last year's Darlington race under Jack Porkins, and now he's already getting challenged by teammate Alex Benyako, Hannah Allen, pushing that certified service machine up towards the front while the two Toyotas are trying to run off into the distance. Joseph Strigley just quietly lurking inside the top 10 here, looking for that 5th position. Logan Clouds had one heck of a climb in car number 4 as he's starting to move his way forwards. He's already inside the top 10, started outside the top 20 from my recollection, and that 4 car already on the move. One of the biggest movers already in lap 7 in this race. Ian Dutta's also in a hard charge in the 71. He started near the middle of the pack as well. There's Scott Roush, Jesse Turner dropping backwards outside the top 10. They're looking to try and peek themselves in. Diego Yepes having a great start to his run so far, running inside that top 20 in the 18th position. William Brock and Cole Baker not too far behind, and Cody Lamas also did not have a great qualifying effort. He's just a little bit outside that top 20. But you notice another driver falling back. Corey Williams is number 14, not looking too pretty right now, running in that 22nd spot and dropping. As you see, Lane Sanders, PJ Williams, Julio Caesar, Ross Jackson, and Vance Conwell trying to team up on that Bass Pro Shop machine. So some drivers not looking as good in this trim so far, so they're really hoping to make some proper adjustments here. Pit stops are going to be fundamental in this race. It's expected to be a 2-stopper here at Darlington, and really the tires are also going to play a role here, because once those tires wear, runs are going to pretty much stall out. You got to really dive in those corners. And right now, though, Eric DeMax having a commanding lead over Edward Ziemba. Alex Benyako now on the back bumper of Edward Ziemba, and there he goes down the inside. Late dive into turn 1. Ziemba gives the space, and Joseph Strigley, you see his car peaking a little bit lower on Hannah Allen's machine, but Edward Ziemba is going to drop down to the 3rd spot, and he might be susceptible to lose more positions thanks to the momentum he lost into turn 1, because here comes Hannah Allen and 3 other drivers trying to follow alongside the 0 car. Strigley, Cloud, and Hart in the picture here, and Edward Ziemba is not found victory lane yet this season for a rookie. I know he's probably beating himself up right now, but even so, it's been a great season for this 17 team. But you see now Joseph Strigley getting around the 0 car. This is going to be for the 3rd position. Cloud getting a huge shot from behind from Noah Hart, and Cloud in turn giving a shot to Joseph Strigley's Great Clips machine. And Strigley's going to move up to the 3rd spot. So the Toyotas again making a statement here in this second half of the season. They've really picked up the pace. Though lacking in numbers, the speed has been much better in recent races. They've become a lot more evident, a lot more flashier than they have earlier in the season, and that's really going to come to show what they could have in store for the remaining races. Never really sleep on those Toyotas, never even sleep on the Dodges and Fords here, despite the Chevys dominating this year. But Eric DeMax, though, holding his ground against Alex Benyako, the defending champion. Jeffrey White navigates his way around Hannah Allen for the 6th spot, looks to be. And that 11 car will actually make that 7th, but put that 11 car ahead of the 0. Bradley Bishop Jr., though, under pressure from John Hart's number 1 machine. Chris Dodd not too far behind his teammate there, and Chris Dodd having a very quiet run so far, only lap 14 out of 74, so still got plenty of laps left. William Brock getting around Diego Yepes for position. Yepes climbing himself into the top 15, but that's short-lived because here comes the rest of the cavalry. Right behind him, Cody Lamas looking down at the bottoms. Yep is going to try and cut him off, but couldn't get there in time. And here comes Ian Dutta pushing Anthony Marchese. Julio Cesar trying to peek his way into the top 20 here, as Scott Roush dropping backwards in that L81 machine. Corey Williams had started, didn't really start off too pretty as well. He's trying to move himself forwards as the run progresses, but you can just tell this mid-pack getting very aggressive. 3 wide off of turn 4, and Yepes is about to almost pancake the wall. And Ross Jackson's going to take advantage of Yepes' mistake off the corner and will take that spot away. And really, this battle for the top 20 on back is getting very ferocious here. You see Patrick Smith in the 29, James Ellison trying to push that GameStop machine here. Roush really just not having a good car so far, so they've got to do something with that machine. Elaine Sanders on the move here. Roush family, remember having a revamped lineup for next year, and Sanders replacing Chase Marks earlier this season, having a great run so far, really trying to get himself into that top 20, trying to prove his worth here in the Hardee's National Series. But a couple of drivers, though, also not doing too well. PJ Williams, Peter Ronjack kind of struggling. Brandon Krass has had a race he's wanted to forget so far. Dejan Weiss falling back. Remember, he qualified relatively well, but back up front, though, it's Eric DeMax still in command. Logan Cloud, though, up to 3rd. He's actually going to try and look for 2nd on Alex Benyako, and here he goes down the inside. And Logan Cloud's going to try and put himself up to that runner-up spot. What a start for this Ford team here. And can Logan Cloud bring that Curtis Racing car to victory lane? It would be an underdog story, but would be awesome to see for the Curtis Racing team. But Eric DeMax, though, has maintained his tires so far, and right now he looks to be the car to beat so far as Noah Hart moves up to 3rd. Dodd looking around Arndt here. This is for the 9th position. Arndt's going to give way to Turner as well. And there's contact right behind him. Jack Porkins in the outside wall. He's going to spin the car all the way down the apron, and looks like nobody's going to hit him. And the caution's going to fly for the very first time tonight. And Jack Porkins was just outside the top 10 when he made contact with BBJ. And into the outside wall goes the peak antifreeze machine. And Porkins was on a hot streak coming into this weekend, was looking to try and repeat that success just like last year where he won. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case here tonight. And you see Arndt was trying to give room to Chris Stott and Jesse Turner, and then watch Porkins and BBJ. Porkins checks up a little bit, and BBJ's just right there, and the two just collide. And poor Jack Porkins, he's just going to go into the outside wall, back end first, get some right front damage to his antifreeze machine, and luckily, watch everybody else though, coming into the screen in just a few moments. They come in relatively hot, and Ian Dutta's all the way down the apron, slides up the hill. Luckily, nobody else hits that 71. I think Tim Fiegel made a little bit of contact with them, but even so, regardless, that could have been a massive pileup in the making. Close calls all around from these drivers, a couple of them though getting relatively close and making contact off of turn 2, but that could have been a bigger wreck than anticipated. We've seen big wrecks here at Darlington in the past, and luckily, this wasn't one of them. Jeffrey White having an extremely slow pit stop with this Curtis Racing car, and that's going to march him all the way down to 42nd, and really, White's going to have a long day ahead of him here He's got to either hope for a caution or he's really just got to run the wheels off that machine, but certainly not what he envisioned here tonight. Coming into the race as the points leader with a slim margin over BBJ, with BBJ up front. This is a nightmare for this 11 team. Joseph Strigley bringing his car down pit road, smoke billowing out of that Great Clips machine, and a tough break for Joseph Strigley. He looked to have a great run, a top 10, top 5 car, but an early run that looks so good is going to end up in an early retirement. It will be Eric DeMex that will lead the way here as the pace car will round off turn number 4 and bring it down pit road. Cloud second, Hart third, Benyako fourth, Ziemba 5th, then you got Hannah Allen in 6th, Chris Dodd 7th, Julio Caesar 8th with a differing strategy called Turner 9th, and BBJ your top 10. And with Bradley Bishop Jr. running in that 10th spot, it's going to be a great points day if he can keep it up. Green flag in the air, Eric DeMex though trying to get a good start here. Cloud looked a little bit to the inside for a moment there, but just couldn't get the momentum off. Turner though looking down the bottom underneath Julio Caesar. They're wanting to put themselves up towards that front pack immediately here, as Julio Caesar is going to be left all the way up to the high side. Everybody else though, you see the field a little bit spreading out early on here. Noah Hart though trying to take the second spot. Cloud tried to cut him off, but Hart said, "I'm right there, buddy," and he's going to try and look for that second spot. And Noah Hart's got the inside line momentum as he's going to move up to second. Going to make a little bit of contact into the first corner, and Edward Ziemba's going to follow in hot pursuit. But Ziemba pushes the 12 car up the track, and here he goes down to the inside. He's looking for, again, that runner-up spot. And Hannah Allen's going to tandem with the 17 into turn number 3 and move Edward Ziemba up to second. And again, Rodriguez racing 1-2. Allen now up to third as Julio Caesar continued to drop back. Ross Jackson filing up on the top side as well, and Alex Vignacco left in a horrible situation right now as here comes BBJ inside of Chris Dodd. This is for position, his teammates still going at it. Logan Cloud though on the back bumper of Noah Hart. Will he try and repay the favor into turn number 3? He's got the momentum into the corner while the battle for the lead is on. The Toyota's going at it. Edward Ziemba's going to roar his way up to the lead, and he's going to lead the laps this time around. And Hannah Allen is just helping this 17 car out. And remember, Hannah Allen's going to be with the Rodriguez camp next year, so this could be just like a friendly gesture here. But Allen, though, now looking for the lead herself. She's wanting to lead a lap for it as well. She wants to join in the party of laps led here tonight. And here she goes off turn number 4, roars her way off. Great center speed off the corner. And Hannah Allen's going to lead the lap this time around. The lead going to be constantly changing here, but Eric DeMex, after losing that lead, he's going to drop all the way back here. Looks to be from the 9th position at worst. And Ross Jackson's trying to get into the top 10 lane. Sanders also trying to get into the top 10. What a run for this 60 so far. Great momentum and great adjustments for the Conway Freight machine. What would be a day if Lane Sanders could get a top 10 or even a top 5 at the rate they're racing at so far. And Sanders with a point to prove here, as Hannah Allen and Edward Ziemba are going to try and run away from the race lead. BBJ now propels himself up to third, and so has Chris Dodd working his way into the top 5. The AFRT cars are coming to life here with the exception of Fiegel here, and really the top 2 trying to get a good breakaway here, as well as 3rd and 4th, while 5th on back are going at it with Alex Vignacco clearing his teammate for the 5th spot. Ooh, Allen slid up the hill. Here comes Edward Ziemba trying to pounce on her. As she gets loose off the corner, Ziemba drops low. Here comes the AFRT cars coming in hot as well. And Ziemba looking way down on the inside. And an easy maneuver to take the lead. But here comes BBJ. He's going to put the fight on that 17 right back. And Bradley Bishop Jr. is going to try and take a lap lead from this 17 car. Into turn 3, dives it into the corner. And BBJ is going to take the lead off of turn number 4. Chris Dodd is going to try and follow his teammates' footsteps. And just like that, put car number 45 up front. Dodd's going to look to the inside, but Ziemba, can he clear himself off that 44? No, he can't. And Chris Dodd, though, now looking low. Allen looking low. Benyako looking low. Everybody's basically looking low here at Darlington. And Chris Dodd, though, that inside line just so strong in the entrance and the middle of the corner here, especially in 1 and 2. If you can really get that car up to grip, That guy on the outside line is basically screwed, and watch the momentum. Ziemba's gonna lose into the corner. Big difference in speed. You see Arndt, Max, and Sanders. They're gonna close in on Edward Ziemba and put Lane Sanders and a couple of others just one spot ahead. And here comes Alex Vignacco on his teammate, looking for the third spot. AFRT now running 1 and 2, but the CM Brigade running really 3rd through 5th here. So really a lot of teams running close together here tonight. Alex Vignacco though now to the 3rd spot. Hannah Allen though now in a horrible spot to lose positions, as there she goes. She's gonna drop a bunch of spots. Corey Williams making his way forward as well. He's had a tough night ahead of him, but he's put himself in a right spot, running in the 9th position and perhaps looking for more. Tim Fiegel you see back there battling it out here with Ross Jackson and Ian Dutta, as Dutta's gonna try and get around that 25 cars. Jackson kisses the wall. Off of turn number 4, James Ellison's also trying to leer himself a top 15 run here tonight, running in the 14th position with William Brock trying to put the pressure on the Red Bull machine. Jesse Turner though not looking too pretty right now. In the 18th position, that Affleck machine has been backwards since the drop of the green flag, and it looks like the adjustments they made have not really suited the likings of Jesse Turner's Affleck machine. Anthony Marchese, another driver struggling. Noah Hart and Cloud are also struggling as well. Looks like track positions really hurt them as well as the adjustments made, so either some slow stops or really some bad adjustments have mired them back in traffic. And with the characteristics of this track, this is really not good. Jeffrey White though has been trying to climb his way forward, looking around Patrick Smith for the 27th spot, and Jeffrey White trying to get as much points as he can, trying to gain some lost ground here, as he's going to try and make a move underneath that 29 car. And White, remember, with the bad pit stop, had to start dead last coming to the restart as he gets around that 29 car. Jack Porkins with the back end damage though, outrunning Jarrett Gross, who's had a very bad day so far. Daniel Day, there's Carter Friesen, a couple of other back markers here. Julio Cesar struggling, and it looks like Shade Eves having some issues there. But now the battle for second is on. Alex Vignacco looking around Chris Dodd, and Dodd's gonna give the room, and Alex Vignacco propels himself and moves himself forward to the 2nd spot. So Eves had a tire go down in his Wyndham machine, and from there he just brought it down the apron and nursed it down pit road. But a tough break for Shade Eves, and he's certainly one of those drivers that's looking forward to 2021, and for a lot of drivers that's really what they're looking forward to, especially after what has been tumultuous seasons in general. Lane Sanders has now peaked into the top 5. What a breakout run so far for this 60 team. Hannah Allen though kissed the wall for 4, and here comes Ian Dutta down to the inside. Here comes John Arndt as well. Jackson following in hot pursuit, and John Arndt trying to move himself forward. Dutta's been on the hard charge here today, and James Ellison migrates down to the bottom. William Brock on the inside of Hannah Allen's number 0 car, but you can just tell that 0 car just not very good at handling here. Looks like a very tight race car. Off a turn 4, she found the wall yet again. Not as hard lick though. Really, these cars can take a little bit of punishment here, as Cody Lamas now goes to the inside of Hannah Allen, Ellison, Williams, and others. They're just going to say thank you for giving me that spot. And just a lot of these drivers just trying to get some late runs in this season, really trying to hope for maybe another caution, or more or less just some more adjustments here. We still have one more stop in the making, so it's the matter at hand on who will pit early and who will pit late. And the matter at hand also is, will a caution come out during the middle of the sequence? Because if it does, this could actually ruin a lot of drivers' hopes and dreams here. But right now though, BBJ still holding the lead, but Don's putting the pressure on Alex Vignacco's number 8, with Demax quietly in 4th, and Lane Sanders having an impressive 5th place run in that Conway Freight machine. Then you got Edward Ziemba in that 6th spot. Williams 7th. Roush crawling his way up to the 8th position. Great run for this L81 machine. They've made some right adjustments with Dutta in 9th, and John Arndt rounding out your top 10 here. And really the mid-pack on back though getting a little bit chaotic here, as Ross Jackson though now getting hounded by Brock, and Brock almost turning him off of turn 2. And Cody Lamas, he's trying to get himself into the top 10 here in car number 48, as James Ellison getting challenged on the inside with Tim Fiegel low underneath that 2 car. But a lot of drivers though basically single file, getting themselves calmed down and hoping those tires kick in well to their liking. Edward Ziemba has been trying to pressure Lane Sanders into a mistake, but Sanders has not been budging, been very aggressive on the track the two of them have. And there's Fire trying to come off of pit road. He had just pitted, and he slides up into the 16 to 17, and that was a very close call. Off of turn 4, Ziemba tries to look low, but Fire is right there, and that's going to give Lane some breathing space there. But for the honors points for the 60 team, this is a great run for them. Really, if they get a top 15 at the end of the day, I'd say that's a win for them. But Edward Ziemba now getting bottled up behind the Whirlpool machine. Here comes Corey Williams and Scott Roush. They're going to try and team up together to get around Edward Ziemba here. Remember, Fire is on new tires after all, so it's likely he might actually make it to the end. So this brings the question of the fuel window here today. And really, one more stop will do it in terms of gas, but tire wear also is going to play a factor. But really, the top three having a little breakaway over Eric DeMax, as here comes Scott Roush trying to make a move underneath Corey Williams. Roush looking a little bit quicker in this second half, in this second stint, as he's going to make a move underneath, and he's got that inside line momentum. He's got the grip on those Goodyear tires. He's going to easily clear Williams off of turn number 4. Ian Dudd has had a very quiet run here, running in the 9th position. PJ Williams, though, and everybody else on back has been battling at it for the 10th spot on and back towards the top 20 as Jackson moves backwards here as he was shuffled to the top side. There's John Hart falling backwards. There's Logan Cloud and Hart. They've kind of been stuck together ever since that restart, as well as Jesse Turner and Jeffrey White. And Jeffrey White again starting to try and move his way forward, trying to crack into the top 20 finally here after a bad pit stop. But here comes Edward Ziemba back underneath Corey Williams, as he's going to easily pass that number 14. The race calming down a lot here tonight, and there's Hart around Ross, Jackson, Cloud, and Arndt. And this is just really, I think a lot of drivers just kind of hoping and really waiting for the next round of pit stops to kick in, because things will change in an instant as Dodd goes to the inside for the second spot and bring back the Allen family cars a 1-2 for the time being, as Benyako shuffles behind in third, and Max has caught the top 3 as a result of those two battling it out in front of him. Here we go, pit stops are now underway. This is going to be the final stop unless a caution comes out, but in terms of fuel and tires, everybody should be good to go. BBJ, the first of the few to come in. Corey Williams, Alex Benyako, Eric DeMax, as many others coming down pit road. And here comes Dodd and the rest of the gang coming in. That's going to be the second wave of cars now, so nobody else really trying to roll the dice here. But Alex Benyako, where are they right now? Where is BBJ? Where's Alex Benyako? Benyako had a very good stop there, and he's actually going to be ahead of that 45, and Eric DeMax is going to be right on the back bumper of BBJ once they get the cars up to speed here, if that 20 car's made some right adjustments. But Alex Benyako is going to jump BBJ ahead in terms of track positions. That's going to be really crucial for the GM certified service machine, and that black car just looking very strong here. Alex Benyako trying to get a resurgent second half here, running just outside the top 2 in points, but still a championship contender all around. And where's Scott Roush? He's going to bring his car out. Chris Dondo, really good stop on the wall pass machine as well. So the question is where Alex Benyako will end up. There he goes off of turn 2. Dodd comes off of turn 2, and down the backstretch they're gonna go. It's gonna be a really close race up. And in a turn number 3, they're gonna go. Dodd's gonna dive bomb the corner. Alex Benyako gives way, almost hit the wall off the corner there. And now they're gonna be side by side for the race lead. Alex Benyako, Chris Dodd going at it neck and neck into turn 1. And Chris Dodd's gonna be able to eke out ahead of the certified service machine. And Alex Benyako's going to be filed in behind a AFRT sandwich, one with younger tires and one with older tires here, as Dodd's going to look down to the inside of Carter Friesen, but Friesen blocking the line there and down the front stretch. This is going to give Alex Benyako a little bit of time to attack, and Dodd now back to the inside, gets around Carter Friesen. He's going to lap him with ease. But here comes Alex Benyako putting the pressure as Dodd washes up the hill, and here comes Benyako to fight back. Side by side down the backstretch, and Alex Benyako is going to try and muscle his way forward, putting the fight back to Chris Dodd's Waffle House machine, and Alex Benyako is going to inherit the lead off of turn number 4, and he's going to take it back. And Bradley Bishop Jr., though, sitting in third, just waiting for those two to waste their tires. Lane Sanders getting around Eric DeMax, and now looking to get around the 3 car of Scott Roush. What a run for Lane Sanders here. Can he get a top 5 today? It really looks like the answer could be yes, but Corey Williams and the others could think otherwise. But Sanders now up to the 4th position. He gets around Scott Roush and Eric DeMax alike, and that's going to be very impressive on his resume here. He's going to brag to people after this that he passed some guys based on pace, but Scott Roush, though, he's going to try and think otherwise. He's on the back bump of the 60 once again, and here he goes down the inside, and he's trying to put a response back to Sanders, and here he goes down looking for that 4th position as Sanders gives way. Just not enough center speed off the corner for that Conway machine, but even so, this is an impressive feat for that Conway machine. But Corey Williams has reeled in the 3 drivers in front of him. Those are 3 spots for the 14 team, and Corey Williams has not been as flashy this year. They have not had as many wins, but even so, the speed has still been there. And here he goes down to the inside of Eric DeMax, and DeMax is going to have to give way here as Williams gets around that 20 car with ease. And Edward Ziemba and Ian Dutta, though, they're also reeling themselves into the picture as well to try and steal a top 5. But there's William Brock, though, looking underneath Tim Fiegel for the 11th position. And that 94 car has been pretty quiet today and really making a great statement here. Just a top 15 run for them would be great. James Ellison also trying to find some great runs here in this Red Bull machine, and with him moving over to S3, he certainly wanted to end a Red Bull season on a high note in terms of his tenure down with the H&S team. One of the drivers that has been on a mission this race has been Tiff Foster. Qualified near the back, he has reached himself inside the top 20. What an effort for the Monster Energy machine, and he's actually holding up a few Curtis Racing cars very well here. So Tiff Foster has been on the charge here, has not had the best of runs lately, so he's looking to really have a nice turn of pace here, as he's actually going to get challenged by Logan Cloud. As Cloud goes to the inside, White's going to try and follow. Here comes Cole Baker, and Cody Lamas back there. About made it 3 wide off of turn 2, but backed off just in time. But Cole Baker pushing White and Cloud all together. So White again trying to put himself up into a prime position to get inside the top 20. And here comes White down to the inside, but Cloud just has the straight line speed coming into turn 1, but Cloud has to give the space as White dives it into the corner. And Cole Baker, though, now on the quarter panel, the 11 machine, and oh, he's so close on, he's leaning on him off of turn 2, and Cole Baker, though, will be right behind that number 11 for the time being as Cody Lamas navigates his way around Logan Cloud. Tip Foster's going to do the same, but Jeffrey White's had a weekend he's wanted to forget, though not running in like 30th place if there was something wrong, but even so, he really wanted to run way better than what he's doing right now in that 18th position. But you see Scott Roush, though, dropping back. He's getting challenged by Edward Ziemba and Ian Dutta alike, and he's going to drop all the way outside. Not to the top 10, but just a little bit backwards here as Corey Williams is going to get around Shade Eves as the lap car. And Lane Sanders, though, still stuck in line, or really tucked in line in that 5th position, still holding well, as Corey Williams now moves himself up to the 4th spot, while the top 3 pretty much remaining stagnant here, kind of waiting to pounce on each other one by one, trying to make the well-calculated move. But Ian Dutta, though, he's on a charge here. He's been not as quick in recent races as well, so he's really looking to also have a great second half as he gets around Edward Ziemba for that 7th position. William Brock, though, on the charge as well, looking around the lap car of Carter Friesen. Noah Hart's also trying to get up inside the top 10 as well, and it's a 4-car battle for that 10th spot as well, with PJ Williams not too far behind. Eric DeMax now making a move down to the inside of Sanders, and Sanders got caught sleeping into turn 1, and Eric DeMax is going to easily fling by. Here comes Dutta, full on head of steam. He's going to zoom past the 60 car with ease. And here goes Dutta. Look at the run the Old Spice Machine's got on Eric DeMax. He's actually going to try and get 2 birds, 1 stone. And Ian Dutta looking for 4th on Eric DeMax as Sanders is going to drop back to both Roush and Ziemba. And into turn 1 they're going to go, and Sanders is going to have to file back in line to get around Eric DeMax. But Dutta's going to slide up the hill, and here comes Ziemba down at the bottom of the racetrack this time around, with Scott Roush shoving that IK9 machine. Only a handful of laps to go, and you still see that top 3 relatively bunched up together. And Sanders almost turning DeMax off of turn 4, and Marchese almost getting turned by Noah Hart off of turn 4. But Sanders is going to rocket his way up to the 8th position and Eric Demack is gonna drop down to the 9th spot. And meanwhile though, looking at the top 3, they have actually caught lap traffic here. Alex Benyako is trying to run away from Dodd and BBJ, but they are just hounding that 8 car. All 3 get around Smith and Keith with ease, and with only 5 laps to go, Alex Benyako feeling the pressure from Chris Dodd. Dodd is right on the quarter panel of the 8. Down the backstretch they're going to go. Alex Benyako now has Jack Porkins in front of him. There's Cal Farrell in front as well. And Dodd is just right on the back bumper. And which way will they go? Can really Benyako get to the inside? No, he can't. Here comes Chris Dodd. He's going to look for the race lead with only 4 laps to go. Chris Dodd now to the point. Bradley Bishop Jr. in the 2nd spot. It's an Allen Family Racing Team 1-2 here with Alex Benyako in the 3rd spot. But look at the numerous amount of traffic right in front of him. Which way will they go? Dodd's gonna go down to the bottom. He's gonna try and dismiss most of this lap traffic himself. And if he can do that, he could be long gone and smooth sailing to the start-finish line. BBJ though and Alex Benyako are just looking to try and find something. Dodd weaves down to the bottom. BBJ looked for a moment but couldn't get there in time. But here they go. They're going to dissect past Cresta and Farrell. And now off of turn number 4, Weeks is going to get out of the way. And 2 laps remain here at Darlington. BBJ though, he's going to have to try and find something around Dodd. Dodd washes up the hill. Here comes BBJ down at the bottom of the racetrack. Alex Benyako's gonna try and follow that 45 car. And can BBJ make it stick into turn 3? Lap car in the way, Daniel Day. He's gonna stay in the middle while BBJ's gonna clear that 44 car off of turn number 4. And the white flag is going to fly. 1 more lap to go for Bradley Bishop Jr. Into turn number 1, Benyako's gonna clear Dodd. And out of contention goes Chris Dodd. It's now a 2-car race for the race win. Down the backstretch for the final time, Bradley Bishop Jr. is going to shut the door on Alex Benyako. Benyako's got one final lunge at it. He's got to hope for that 45 to make a mistake. But coming off of turn number 4, Bradley Bishop Jr. is going to win here at Darlington and fend off a hungry Alex Benyako. What a finish there, and lap traffic really played dividends. Was basically the disadvantage, the detriment to Chris Dodd, but was the advantage for Bradley Bishop Jr. There, used those cars as a pick, shuffle Dodd out of line, and that's really what was needed. And Bradley Bishop Jr. is gonna come home with the race win. Benyako 2nd, Dodd 3rd, Corey Williams with a 4th place run, with Scott Roush in 5th, Ian Dutta 6th, Edward Ziemba 7th, William Brock. Hart 7th, Edward Ziemba 8th, William Brock in 9th, and Tim Fiegel rounding out your top 10. Lane Sanders, who was in the top 5 at the end, is going to end up in 13th at the end, so not really what they wanted. They just kind of got passed at the end, so tough breaks for them, but what a finish there between Bradley Bishop Jr., Alex Benyako, and Chris Dodd. Those top 3 cars looked to be the class of the day, and it really came to show who was meant to be on top here tonight. Thank you all for watching the round of Darlington. We look forward to seeing you again for the upcoming round.